no. Sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, barcheinu avinu kulanu ke'echad, ve'or panecha. Ki ve'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, sim shalom, tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael, amecha. Well, that's fun. I suppose better today than Tuesday to have no sound, but okay. What a day, friends. What a day. This is great. It's a good sign. We have disaster before perfection, right? This is going to be great. Okay, let's at least study some Torah. So if you'd like to say the blessing for the study of Torah with me, you can join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. So Parshat Nitzavim is on page 1165. And interesting, it's a short one. I think the rabbis planned it that way because they knew we had a lot to do in the coming weeks. So that's good. And I'm interested to hear what you all have to say about this, especially sort of this last section that is traditionally the sixth aliyah, right? So if you were to start at chapter 30, verse 11, and kind of go into the end, there's so much here in this short little piece. First, I'm sure you've heard me tell this story before, but it's worth telling again, right? Chapter 30, verse 12, Lo bashamayim hi lemor. It is not in the heavens that you should say, Mi ya'aleh lanu hashamayma v'yikachecha lanu. Who is going to go up to the heaven and get it being the Torah, right? Who is going to go there? V'lo me'aver layamhi. It's not across the ocean that you would say, Mi ya'avar lanu el ever hayam v'yikachecha lanu. You should say, who's going to go get it, right? Ki karov elecha hadavar me'od. It is so close to you. It is in your mouth. It is in your heart so that you can do it. Lo Bashamayim, he is a title of a very famous book about the Talmud. And it is, of course, a very famous story in the Talmud that the rabbis are arguing about, honestly, something that's not very exciting. They're arguing about a certain kind of oven and whether you can fix a mistake that has been made in this oven. I think the debate is whether this oven has tiles, right? And so if you make a mistake, if you make a kashrus mistake in this oven, can you fix the mistake? Or because there are cracks in the tiles, can you not fix this mistake? It's like not that exciting. But the thing that's exciting about this story is that there are 69 rabbis who say, now I always get this part backwards. There are 69 rabbis who say, yes, you can fix it. And there's one rabbi who says, no, maybe it's the other way around. But the point is it's 69-1. And they argue and they argue and they argue. And the one rabbi who's out there by himself says, I am so correct that this tree is going to jump up and walk across this field to prove that I am correct. And the tree jumps up and it walks across the field to prove that he is correct. And his 69 friends say, that's cute. We still think we're right. And he says, I am so correct that this river is going to change directions and flow backwards. And sure enough, the river changes directions and flows backwards. And his friends say, that's cute. we still think we're right. And he says, I'm so correct that the walls of the Beit Midrash, the walls of the study hall are going to come down because they are so mad that you are so wrong. And the walls start to come down. And then one of the other rabbis yells at them and says, you're not supposed to take sides. And to this day, they're still standing like this. And this is also why we put our mezuzahs like this, right? That they're not up and down and they're not side to side. They're like this to show that Jews can disagree and that we compromise. But the rabbis say, you're wrong, you're wrong. And then he says, I am so right that God, God's self, is going to tell you that I am right. If sure enough, a bat kol, a voice from heaven, comes and says that he is right, and somebody yells back at God with this verse and says, didn't you tell us, lo bashamayim hi? Didn't you tell us that it's up to us, that it's not up to heaven, that the Torah is not in heaven anymore? And we have a system. We have these 70 smart people, and they vote. And we voted 69 to 1, and we're going to do it our way. And God smiles and laughs and says, yeah, you're right. So I love this verse because it empowers us, right? It's for us to say, listen, this is so, so important. All of what's here in the Torah, all of what's here in our tradition and the oral Torah is so, so, so important, but it is not out of your reach. You can do it. It's for you to take, it's for you to be in charge of, right? And this is what makes us as traditional progressive Jews, this is it. This is the text that gives us permission to be who we are, right? We care about the tradition. We care about what's in here. We care about the halacha. And as part of that project of caring about it, it's up to us to bring it with us into the era we live in. It's up to us to say, this is not something that's distant in the past. This is not something that's distant up high for only God or for only elite people, right? This is something for all of us to do in our mouths and in our hearts every single day. So if you need a proof text for conservative Judaism, for traditional egalitarian Judaism, here it is. Know it, love it. Deuteronomy 30:12, lo bashamayim hi. This is what we're doing here. And then the rest of this goes on, talks about Moses and God setting some choices upon us, right? That we have life and death, blessing and curse, and we want you to choose life. And it's just, again, so important that God and Moses say, we can't make you do this. This is not a project where God is threatening and imposing and making people do this. This is a reminder that it's our choice to be partners with God every day. And so whatever is in here, whatever we're doing, right, we have to be the ones to decide to be in this relationship with God every time we do a mitzvah. And so then this is it. We have 2 more parshas left. We have Vayelech and Ha'azinu, right, where Moses is going to really say goodbye. And then we will get to start the Torah all over again at Simchat Torah. So I hope you'll continue to join us for that as we kind of carry on in the cycle of the year. So I guess we will turn now to a Mishavera on page 173. If you have a name you would like to add, please rise and I will call on you when we get there. Yeah. Page 173. Mishavera avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Imotenu Sarivka Rachel v'Leah V'Yivarech v'Yirpeh Tacholim Bat Yashira Bat Aviva Miriam Chaim Gershom ben Gittel Chaim Yidel Bat Risalia Chana Bat Zlota Chana Gavriela Bat Rivka Etta Chana Shmuel Bat Michael Chasa Dvora Bat Rasel Deborah Gurrit Dovid Leib ben Rose Faishal Shepsel Gedalia Shmuel ben Malka Krena Joe Rabinowitz, Lexi Amuter, Linda Grossman, Leora Batchana, Nancy Bashinsky, Pesach Herschel Ben Elka, Rachavnit Sevet Bat Sarah, Rachel Bat Mordechai, Reuven Yitzchak Ben Yocheved, Rivka Ete Bat Freda, Rachel Bat Leah Henya, Sarah Bat Chava Ve'Avraham, Sandar Eliezer Ben Yitzchak Halevi, Shira Bat Dvorah Leah, Shlomo Ben Sarah, Shmuel Ben Lev Wolf, Asher Ben Shoshana, Yaakov Ben Rachel, Yael Miriam Bat Gila, Yitzchak Ben Dina,
Asher Gittel Bat Hanagat.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleihem Lehachzikam Urfautam Vayishlach Lahem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min Hashamayim Refuat HaNefesh Urefuat HaGuf B'toch Shar HaCholim V'chazek Et Yedei Oskim B'tzorcheihem Shabbat Himilis Ok Urefuah Krova Lavo Hashta Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv V'nomar Amen. We will continue on page 177 with the prayer for our country. God and God of our ancestors, with mercy, accept our prayer on behalf of our country and its government. Pour out your blessing on this land, upon its inhabitants, upon its leaders, judges, officers, and officials who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the public. Help them understand the rules of justice you have decreed, so that peace and security, happiness and freedom will never depart from our land. Adonai, God, whose spirit is in all creatures, we pray that your spirit be awakened within all the inhabitants of our land. Uproot from our hearts hatred and malice, jealousy and strife. Plant love and companionship, peace and friendship among the many peoples and faiths who dwell in our nation. Grant us the knowledge to judge justly, the wisdom to act with compassion, and the understanding and courage to root out poverty from our land. May it be your will that our land be a blessing to all who dwell on earth. May you cause all people to dwell in friendship and freedom. Speedily fulfill the vision of your prophets. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. For all of them, from the least of them to the greatest, shall know me. And let us say, Amen. Page 178. Avinu Shabashamayim, Sur Yisrael v'goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Shetehei Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Avinu Shabashamayim, stronghold and redeemer of the people of Israel, bless the state of Israel that it may be the beginning of our redemption. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say, Amen. We continue on page 181 with Ashrei. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha Selah Ashrei Ham Shekachalo Ashrei Ham She'Adonai Elohav. Tehillat Adonai Yedaber Pi Vivarech Kol Basar Shem Kodsho Leolam Vaed Va'anachnu Nevarech Ya Me'ata ve'ad olam. Hallelujah, hallelujah. In the absence of a minion, we continue with our own private Amidah on page 185. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom. sim, sim, shalom, tova uveracha. Yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, yai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, ya, da, dai, dai. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. We'll continue together with Ein Keloheinu on page 204. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadronenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mich Eloheinu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Emalkeinu, Mich Moshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shiktiru, Avotenu, Lefanecha et Ketoret Hasamim. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gidula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You can be seated. We'll turn to page 30, where you can find in the left-hand margin the prayer in the place of the mourner's Kaddish. This week we especially remember Albert Edelman, Lillian Beck, Ruth Bloom, Alice Boyle, Annie Briss, Miriam Crone, Eric Drach, Frida Eisenberg, Jack Fisher, Aaron Franzblau, Paul Goldschmidt, Hannah Kahn, Joan Kovar, Edward Mankiewicz, Nathan Patchell, Trudy Perlman, Julia Faye Reagan, Abe Schuldman, Rachel Strackman, Isaac Strackman, and all of those in our hearts. Ribono shel olam, Elohei haruchot l'chol basar, Master of the world, God of the spirit of all flesh, it is revealed and known before you that it is my fervent desire to praise your name and to remember and honor my beloved by reciting the mourner's Kaddish in the company of a minyan. May my presence here today with my community find favor in your eyes, be accepted and received before you as if I had prayed the Kaddish. May your name Adonai be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth, and may peace reign everywhere. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Praise be the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty is forever and ever. Oseh Shalom B'Romav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'Imru. Amen. Okay, announcements. Read your emails, and then when you're done doing that, go read your emails. And then when you're done doing that, you can go read your emails one more time, because I sent you 1,000,000 this week. But the most important things are some pleases and some thank yous. So please help us out if you can. Tomorrow at 12:15, Steve Golden needs some help setting up chairs in the Hayom tent. It should be short and sweet. There aren't a ton to set up, so please come by. Please also, if you haven't already signed up to be an usher or a greeter on the high holidays, phone your friend Eric Pell. He would love some help. That would be really great. And then please, on Sunday, September 12th, next Sunday, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and going all day, I think, we're putting up the sukkah. So come, even if you can only come for an hour. We'll be here certainly all morning. Come help us put up the sukkah. And if you can tell us in advance, tell me or Eric or John Chansky that you're coming so we know how much coffee to order and how much help. And if you are a teenager or you know a teenager who needs community service hours, I will sign their sheet and I will round up. So please come and help out. We need some people power to make these holidays happen. And then thank you to everybody who's already done that. Thank you to everybody who's done everything. The sanctuary looks beautiful. We're so excited and so happy to be here and so happy we can offer so many different ways of accessing the celebration together. So thanks to everyone from our office staff, to our custodial staff, to our leaders, to our volunteers, and just everyone. It took a village this year, and I think it's going to be great, especially since Mike came and fixed the sound this morning. So we're not going to have that problem on Tuesday, God willing. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all Monday night, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning. If you have any questions, read your emails. And if it's not there, I don't know the answer either, but we'll see you then. Let's conclude with Adon Olam on page 211. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu haya, vehu hove, vehu yeh betif ara, vehu echad, v'ein sheni, lehamshilo, lehachbira, v'li reshi, v'li tachli, v'lo haos, v'hamisra, vehu eli, V'chai koali, v'tzur chevli v'yetzara, v'hu nisi umanos li, v'nat kosi, v'yomek raviado, afkid ruchi, v'tishan v'aira, v'imruchi, geviati, Adonai li velo ira. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Yeah, I wonder what I did wrong over here. Let's see. The clear man that knows everybody's name. Yes. I know.